So you have to imagine somebody is scrolling through their Facebook newsfeed or their Instagram newsfeed. You're trying to stop them and be interested in your brand for 1 second. You got 1 to 3 seconds. That's it. We have returned with a new look, the same motto, building businesses every day here at MattyAds. Thank you so much for being here. I think right now I'm projecting we'll have over 60,000 words on the website by the end of the month. If the website had been up on December 1, we'd probably be closer to 120,000. Yesterday, we set up our Google Ads, linked it to Google Analytics. So we'll be ready to go there in January when we start promoting some of these articles. Today, we need to switch gears, move towards the social networks, more specifically, need to move towards Facebook. Facebook is a behemoth, if you didn't know. We want to make sure we have a presence on Facebook and Instagram. You should probably do the same for your business, which is probably why you're watching this. So we're going to go through all the Facebook beginner steps, all the Facebook tutorial steps to get our Facebook accounts set up. That will include our Facebook page, potentially our Instagram, and our Facebook ads. And that will include things like Business Manager, our Facebook Pixel, which is huge thing to have on your website. We'll also talk about strategy when it comes to Facebook. What's a Facebook ad strategy that you should have for your business? I come from the agency world, from the top agencies in the world, and I've managed tens of millions of dollars in advertising spend for some of the highest growth startups, and you know the names of them. It's a little different for a business that you're just starting out, right? We're gonna have to be a little bit more careful with the dollars that we spend. We won't be able to test as much as a company that has $1 million per month budget. So we'll have to be light on our feet, and we're going to do all of that on stream. So you'll be able to see the inner workings of a digital marketing expert, and hopefully you can use that to grow your own business. All right, so let's go. By the way, here's the website. In case you haven't seen it lately, look at that. Got 9 articles now, looking pretty. All right, so here's my Facebook. We're going to have to just create a Facebook page for the Gift Yak. I think the obvious name is the Gift Yak. All right, we're going to steal the same descriptions we use for our homepage. So remember, I use the plugin called the SEO framework. And if I go down here, that's where my title is. That's where my description is. Go with the Gift Jack. Go back to Facebook. We're going to quickly do some customization here. Let's make a cover up here, right? You see this spot? We want to have that. We want to add a profile. All right, so that looks fine. Let's see if we can create a username. It's available. So we're going to create it. So now we want the cover. So let's just go to Canva. Should be able to just do create design. Type in Facebook up here. And you see cover. Let's just click that guy. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go steal. I already have something that's similar. We can probably tune this down just a bit. That actually looks fine. Cool. So that's done. Let's add a button. Learn more. All right. So within the settings tab, this is where you're going to link Instagram. So if you already have your Instagram set up, just go in here and connect the account. I don't have one set up. I'm not going to do that right now either. The next step in the process of getting our Facebook account set up would be to go and create a business manager. I'm running into some technical difficulties. So I'm going to show you what that process looks like, and then I'll show you what a finished account looks like. So here's where you'd create an account. All right, so after you click that button, it's going to take you to a page like this. You're just going to fill in your name for your business. So mine is going to be the Gift Jack. You'll leave your name, and then you'll fill in your business email. It's going to ask you for some personal information, and so you can fill that in. And then you're going to want to add your page. All right, so this is, we just created our Facebook page, if you recall. So that's your Facebook page, and you just want to assign it. All right, so you want to make sure you assign your Facebook page to your business manager. Think of your business manager as an umbrella, and you're going to have to put assets under those umbrellas. So you're going to put your Facebook page, you're going to put your Instagram page, and you're going to put your Facebook ad account. They're all going to go under the Facebook manager umbrella. So that's what it looks like. Then it's going to have you create an ad account. You see this? You click add ad account. I'll show you MattyAds, the Facebook account I set up for this about a month ago. We'll walk through that. Again, just name it your business. My ad account is just going to be called the Gift Jack. This is where you'll select whether or not it's going to be for your business or if you're going to be managing somebody else's as like a client. Again, unless you're building an agency, you probably don't need to worry about that, or you're engaging with an agency. You're not going to need to invite anybody if you're the owner of all of this, if you've created it. If you need to invite people though, make sure if other people are managing any of these pages or the ad account that you do invite them. Otherwise, they're not going to have access. And how you do that is you go on the left menu and you either click pages or you click ad accounts or you click apps, right? Whatever your business properties are. Right? I'm not doing an app, so I'm not going to have any apps. but you need to assign who has permissions there to select the asset and then give permissions. Same with the ad account. You'll also want to add your Instagram account like we talked about. And then the last step that we'll walk through actually is setting up a Facebook pixel, which is huge. This is one of the most important reasons that that anybody works with Facebook, is that we can leverage Facebook's data through their pixel and really know who our users are, right? So it's going to be really important that we engage with them. And then we'll walk through building an ad, what that looks like, building a campaign, best practices around that. All right, so when all is said and done, this is what your Facebook account should look like. As you can see, this is my MattyAds Facebook account. I had originally scoped out some Facebook ads that I wanted to run once I launched my business about 23 days ago. We're on day 23 now. So we'll talk about campaign structure and how we should think about that, and how you should think about that for your business. Best practices. Again, I'm coming from the agency side, managing millions, tens of millions of dollars in advertising spend for some very large advertisers. So not all of those things apply to a new business, just to be very frank. I'm not going to be utilizing the same rigor and analysis that I do for $1 million budget client when I'm going to be spending hundreds of dollars a month, maybe thousands if things are successful. We need to be realistic about where our business is and how quickly we can grow it, and think about Facebook ads. This is Facebook ads again, as a platform to add fuel to the fire that is your business. Early on, things are probably not going to be, it's not going to be a huge roaring fire. And so you're going to have to start little test fires everywhere to see what is achievable and where we can scale the business. That is going to be the goal of utilizing Facebook ads. The next step would be, for your business or my business, making sure that we set up the Facebook pixel. So how do we do that? We need to go to Events Manager. I think it's this. So you click Connect a New Data Source. This will allow us to connect. What we're basically doing is we're putting a piece of code on our website, on every page of our website, that will load with every page load. And it will send data back to Facebook and say, hey, this person, again, it's just a randomized hashed number, this person is visiting our website. And Facebook will get that data, and Facebook will basically check it against their database to see if they know who that person is. And then what that allows you to do is track if somebody converts on your website. So if they buy something, if they click something, if they add something to cart, allows you to track that within Facebook. But it also allows you to access audiences based on site visitors. So you'll be able to effectively have a pool of users who visit your site over 30-day period, 14-day period, 7-day period, what have you. And you can send them advertisements because Facebook knows who they are, has grouped them together. It's all anonymized. I can't advertise directly to you. I don't know who you directly are. I just know that I have a pool of users that visit my site, as well as we can take that pool of users and create what's called a lookalike audience on Facebook. So we can say, hey, Facebook, I got 50,000 people came to my website in the last 30 days based on your pixel data. I want to create a bigger pool of users. I want to look at 3 million users on your website that look like the users that visit my website. So what does that do for you as a business owner or as an advertiser of your business? Well, it lets you expand. It lets you do what we call in the business prospect for new users, because you can't just keep advertising to the people that visit your website. Remarketing to existing users on your website or your app is a finite pool, and you can only do it so much. You can only squeeze so much out of that juice. So you use prospecting to grow that pool. So we're going to set it up for web. I'll go through some of the process as far as I can. Again, this is not the gift jack. So we would want to select the Facebook pixel. So we would send web events and parameters through the web browsers for people who are interacting with our site. We would give it a name. I would type in the gift jack, connect. All right. So now there's a piece of code. All right. This is the pixel. Now there's a piece of code, and it wants us to tell us how we're going to install it. So if we were really setting this up right now, I would just click Google Tag Manager and I would get it set up within Google Tag Manager. I'm sure it's like something that is pretty automated. Given that our Google Tag Manager is set up for a different website, I don't want to do that right now. I do want to show you how I would do it with the manual code. Here's the base code. This goes at the header. If I was doing this for realsies, I'd go into Google Tag Manager. I would go to tags. I'll go to new. Custom HTML. All right, so we would do that guy. once per event, and then we want it to fire on all pages. We would save that and then push that live. There's going to be something that we have to do in the future, by the way, which is set up custom events. We talked a little bit about that yesterday when we set up Google Ads. Is when somebody does an event on the gift jack, and I'm going to show you what an event will be. An event is going to be when somebody clicks to go to Amazon. All right, we can tag anytime somebody clicks to go to Amazon, and we can fire it as a conversion event. So when we, for realsies, get our Facebook business page up and not run into these technical issues, we are going to follow these instructions on the Facebook page that say create action specific tags to create these conversion events within Google Tag Manager, so that anytime somebody clicks this button, it tells Facebook, hey, they just converted and went to Amazon. And as an affiliate, that's the best we're going to be able to do, unfortunately, at least as it pertains to Amazon. We're not going to know what happens after somebody clicks. Amazon is huge. They can basically tell us, hey, we don't want to share any more data with you. Not every other company is that big, though. You, as an affiliate, you may work with companies that do share that data with you that will pass back the conversion data. Imagine if Amazon lets you put a pixel on their checkout page. You could know exactly who went and clicked the Frozen 2 birthday party favors product and how many converted and bought it. It's a different scale of partner that you're going to work with. Amazon isn't going to let you do that. So we're just going to pixel this button click, and that's going to be okay. We're going to be able to set what's known as a proxy. Let's say we get 1,000 clicks in a month on all of our Amazon buttons. And let's say we generate $1,000 in revenue. Our proxy will be 1,000 divided by 1,000. $1,000 divided by 1,000 clicks. $1 per click. It's a good piece of data to know as an advertiser, because then I can go on Facebook or I can go on Google and I can say, hey, I want to spend this amount of money. These are the people I want to target, or these are the keywords I want to target if we're talking about Google. And I can't spend more than 75 cents to get somebody to click to Amazon, right? I got to make some money. And so having Facebook Pixel set up, having as much data as possible by tagging these different conversion events as much as we can is going to be crucial. The more data means the more powerful we can be as an advertiser. So make sure you set up your Facebook Pixel. You saw how long it took us. I mean, realistically, it's about 10 minutes to do. Let's go back to our ads manager. Let's just assume we have our Facebook Pixel now set up and we have a website that we want to advertise. We got the gift jack. The gift jack looks nice, but it doesn't really make sense for us to try and drive traffic here. Like it's too disparate of gift ideas, right? This one is about party favors for wedding. This one is about 80-year-old birthday parties. This is about Valentine gifts for your mom. It would be a weird advertisement to say, hey, come to our website, come to our homepage, and find a gift that you're looking for, because people are going to scroll through this and they're going to go, well, I don't need that. I don't need that. I don't need that. I'm not keto. Like, I don't care about Reddit. And so this isn't a good experience for them. I probably will never drive people to the homepage as an affiliate. So what we have to do is we have to think about this from a user standpoint. If I'm on Facebook, what type of ad, or if I'm on Instagram, what type of ad is going to resonate with me? Well, that's how we can utilize the power of Facebook's knowledge graph, or all of their information from an audience perspective, because they track billions of users across the internet every day. So they know what people are interested in. If you are logged into Facebook right now and you're browsing the internet, guess what is all over the internet? You see all these widgets down here? You got Twitter, you got Facebook, you probably got like buttons, right? There's a reason that Facebook has like buttons all over the internet, because websites like ESPN.com or the gift jack, if we did it, they put that widget there for engagement. It makes people want to click and engage more and hit a thumbs up or hit a thumbs down. That also sends data back to Facebook, and anybody browsing that page who's also logged into Facebook, they've now cataloged you as somebody who's interested in sports, or interested in the Buccaneers, or interested in Tom Brady. Facebook has great audience data. So instead of sending people to my homepage, I'm going to send them to my themes or to my specific articles. So what if I decided I wanted to advertise in a couple weeks on Facebook for Valentine's gifts? Well, I'll tell you how I'm going to do it. I'm going to choose my Valentine's Day articles, and I'm going to find audiences on Facebook that I think these will resonate with, that Facebook can show the advertisement to, and that person will go and click my article, and then they're going to scroll down, and then they're going to find something they like, and then they're going to hopefully make a purchase on Amazon. So the first step to that is, again, we talked about this yesterday with Google. Make sure you have good naming structure, okay? I had set up a prospecting campaign. I was targeting interest audiences. This PH just means placeholder. I was targeting 5 different countries, so like US, Canada, UK, stuff like that. And then I was targeting all devices, so mobile, desktop, etc. So let's just copy this name, and we'll go through the process of how I would think about advertising this article or my other Valentine's articles and how I'm going to approach that in a couple of weeks. Similar with Google, we're really just driving traffic. To an extent, we will have conversions set up, right? Once we get our conversion event set up where it says anybody who clicks this button has converted for us. But since we don't have that set up, we won't select it. And this is important because it's basically telling Facebook, hey, how do you want to optimize your campaign? How do you want us to try and deliver results for you? Well, for us, we're saying, hey, we just want you to get people to click to our article. Don't worry about anything else after that. Do it as cheaply as you can. If we set a conversion campaign, that means, hey, Facebook, not only do you have to send people to our website, but we actually need those people to click to Amazon, right? Because that's our conversion event. And so that's a step down funnel, down in the marketing funnel, one step down. So that generally means it's going to be more expensive because not only does Facebook have to send traffic to your website, they have to actually send qualified traffic that will actually engage. So they don't just have to land on this website. They actually have to scroll down. They have to probably read, and then they have to decide, oh, I want to click that button. Hopefully they're interested in actually buying it, right? But Facebook has to do more, so it means it's going to be more expensive. If you are an e-commerce brand and this button was like add to cart, let's say we were actually selling this ourselves, this was an add to cart button, guess what? There's a step even further down funnel than that. If somebody adds to cart, what else do they have to do? Well, then they have to buy it. They have to go through checkout, which you can tell Facebook to do in your campaign setup, but Facebook is really freaking good at it. So is Google. All right, so we'll give it a name. We'll just call it prospecting test. We'll just hit continue. And now we're in draft, okay? This is what Facebook ads looks like. All right, so this is it's an auction. Again, Facebook and Google are auction models for bidding. So you are competing against other advertisers for real estate on Facebook or Instagram or on Google search or on YouTube. You have to pay to play. We've set it up as a traffic campaign. You could have a conversion campaign depending on if you're set up there. Campaign budget optimization is on. So this is supposed to be a default feature. Facebook has pushed this back. Basically, it means you set a campaign budget. So for instance, this campaign, this test campaign that we're setting up, maybe we'll set, we'll spend $10 a day here. Facebook is going to try and achieve the lowest cost for our event. So we want them to optimize towards traffic, remember. That means somebody just clicking to our website. So they're going to try and get the lowest cost per click possible. What campaign budget optimization does is once we set up an ad group, which is the next step, or an ad set, if we have multiple ad sets within the same campaign, Facebook will move them around and jockey them for position based on whichever one can achieve the lowest cost. All right. And so that's good for us. Facebook is using its data to optimize our campaigns. Then we'll hit next. All right, so our new ad set. So we want to make sure we're naming these appropriately. So I think we're going to have audience, gender, age, potentially language, depending on where you're advertising, right? Now, why do I include these? Well, it just makes it easier to see what's going on as you're running campaigns. If you're running one campaign with one ad set, with one ad, it probably doesn't matter because you already know what you're targeting. The reason this is important for somebody like me is because I was born and bred on the agency side, right? And we manage hundreds of campaigns for multiple clients. And so we need standardization for when we're doing analysis or when we're building new campaigns. I highly recommend to get into this mindset of labeling as much as you can, but not only labeling, making sure that it's a standardized label, right? So when we create the next ad group, it's the same thing. Dynamic creative, it's probably out of the scope of this one. All right, so here's the bread and butter of Facebook. It's choosing who you want to reach on Facebook and on Instagram. So what do we know about our users? Well, we don't have any users really. Who do we think our users are going to be? Well, I think my users users are going to be primarily 35 to 54-year-old females. I would say it's going to be 60-40 male or female to male split. The only reason I would limit some of these things like age or gender is if I knew for sure my product did not resonate with those folks. Here's an example. I have a buddy who does erectile dysfunction pills. I doubt he's advertising towards 18-year-olds, right? He's probably got this age range set to something like 34 to 65, something like that. We might do some of this where we target male or female depending on the gift. I'll give you an example. This article is gift ideas for mom from daughter. We are likely only going to want to target females. By the way, the bigger the better. So the bigger the population you can get on these advertising platforms, the less the delivery costs will be. And then here's where the fun starts. That's just the base level stuff. That's gender, age, location. You can start layering in things like lookalike audiences, which we talked about, right? Those are audiences based off of your pixel data or perhaps your customer data. Let's say you have an email list of 50,000 users. You can upload that into Facebook and you can say, hey, Facebook, I got these 50,000 emails that are really valuable to me. Can you find other people like that have similar attributes? Facebook has an amazing knowledge graph, and so they are great at doing this. And then in detailed targeting is where you can play around with audiences that are already built on Facebook, right? So Facebook's got all this data on people and they have you as a user bucketed under different audiences based on what they know about you. So if you've been visiting a bunch of flower shop websites lately, probably means you want to buy flowers. And so they got you under some audience about buying flowers. And so us advertisers can go and target populations of people that have these interests or that share these demographics or behaviors. And this is the hardest part as an advertiser is figuring out which one to invest dollars into, which one to test before the other. And I will tell you from an agency perspective with high growth clients, this is a huge process. And we call it account planning. For your small business or for the gift yak, we're not gonna go as deep, all right? We're gonna make some assumptions and we're gonna put a couple bucks behind it. We just don't have the scale to really flesh some of these things out that bigger businesses do. So let's say I wanted to build a campaign just on this one. We know it's from daughter, so I would exclude males, all right? We only want to target females. So we would do female, and then we would start just typing in some ideas here. So we probably want something related to Valentine's Day. Well, Valentine's Day has this huge audience population. Do you see that? It says 117 million. So let's see what that is in US. 4.9 million. I would say a good audience size to go after is anywhere between 2 and 10 million these days on Facebook. I think more recently people would say the bigger the better. Facebook has gotten better at taking big populations of users and delivering results against that. 5 years ago, the strategy was to have very hyper tailored audiences of about 2 million users, and that was the strategy. So you could theoretically test that. I mean, it's not a bad audience. I just want to see if there's anything else that is like more in market, let's say. So if I click this suggestions, what does Facebook show? Well, they say romance, love. Yeah, but this is a gift for a mom, so not really romance. Dating, no. In a relationship, no. But these are good things to include if the article was about a Valentine's Day gift for husband or Valentine's Day gifts for spouse, whatever it is. What about gift? Well, that's pretty important. All right, so let's try gift then. So that gave us a good idea. What shows up if we do gift? All right, we got interesting gift, unique gifts, gifts for a friend. What about gift for mom? Doesn't exist. All right, so let's add gift. All right, so what we did there is we said, hey, we don't want it to be an or function. So we don't want it to be, hey, they have to be female and then they can either be interested in gifts or they can be interested in Valentine's Day. We want it to be an and function. So we can narrow the audience and we can go from 3.7 million people down to 3.2 million. Let's just assume this is the audience that we wanted to go with. Let's just keep moving forward, right? Let's go up here. We're going to say Valentine's gift. We're going to say female. We're going to say 18 to 65. And then we're going to do English. So now we're good there. And leave automatic placements on. This basically says, hey, you can show our advertisement on all the different places that Facebook, Instagram, or their third-party affiliated websites allow. The reason you want to do this is the more you narrow the scope, the more you tell Facebook, hey, you can only deliver it to this ad or this placement, it's going to make your costs go up. So you should definitely test automatic placements first. If you see a placement that is performing poorly, then you can remove it, but test with this first. Now it wants us to make an ad. Here's the thing about Facebook. You can make image ads or you can make video ads. I'm going to show you quickly how you can make an image ad using Canva for free. Video ads are going to be a little bit more difficult. You can do like animated GIFs, so you can like film yourself on your own camera doing something cute. Videos do perform better in my experiences. Here's what I would note. Whether it's image or video in the name, the size, so square or portrait. Generally keep with square and portrait. So square, portrait. Portrait fills up the phone for things like Instagram stories is important. Square is great for the feeds, Instagram and Facebook feed. Then you have like an ad name. So have your name. So let's say we made a Valentine gift mom image. All right, we'll make that really quick. Then that would be the name of it. Then we would decide, is it an image or a video? Then we would say what the aspect ratio is. And then we want to say what the call to action is. Call to action. That's the little button that's going to show up on your ad. And we also want to say what like the headline is. To actually create the ad, you just add media and then you write your text. Make sure you add your URL. So in this case, we want to point them to this page, right? Oh, look at that. So Facebook I didn't even need to make an ad, by the way. That looks freaking good. Man, Facebook impresses me. So look at what they just did, by the way. I just put in the URL and they pulled in the image for my website, which is a nice, thumbnail that I made. They pulled in my website URL or my name here, the title of it, and they gave us a call to action. Do this. What if we just took our description? Now, how about that? I mean, so we could theoretically launch this right now, right? If we had the gift yak if this was our page. This is a good looking ad. It's not amazing, but it's good looking, right? It probably would perform decently. Well, what if we wanted to do more? What if we wanted to try out different images here? I'll show you. So first thing is, check Facebook ad specs. I couldn't tell you how many times I had to come back and check how big of an aspect ratio something should be. If we're trying to make a square image for Facebook ad, we want to make it 1080 by 1080. So let's go into our free product called Canva and let's make one. Create design, go to custom size, 1080 by 1080. So what do great Facebook ads have? Let me show you a trick. Who does great Facebook ads? So I think GoodRx has some good Facebook ads. So here's how you can look up any business's Facebook ad, by the way. You go to their Facebook page. You go to their Facebook page, you scroll down, and you find this thing called page transparency. You scroll down to the bottom, you go to their ad library, click that button. Now this is going to show you all of their ads that Facebook catalogs. So you can always go check out your competitors' ads, or if you see a brand that you really like, you can see how they're doing it. As marketers, what we do a lot of is competitive analysis. Trying to understand what's working for another brand without having the data to support it, and taking some of those elements and testing them. What is important about GoodRx's brand? Well, they clearly have some brand colors. Well, they include the pills on this one. They're doing a comparison over here. You see this box? This is comparison. And then over here, they're showing you, this is a free trial video. All right, so they've got 3 different themes going on here. I'm going to stick to the image. They got product. They tell exactly what it is, what you're getting. And then here's their call to action. They have another theme down here, which is hero image of a woman holding a prescription. And then they have all of their information up here in a black box. Tagline, secondary tagline, no call to action button, by the way. Do you see? So let's have some fun. Let's try and make something. Let's do a picture of a mom. What else do we want? Well, we want to have some text overlay. So let's do a box, maybe do a darker red. Darker red kind of goes with the cape. Then we can click that button, just make it a little less transparent so you can kind of see through. And then let's add some text. Curated gifts for mom. How about that? Make sure it's all centered. Maybe we say Valentine. All right, this needs to stand out a little bit more. So we actually need to do let me show you a nice little trick. What we want to do is we want to find a complementary color that's going to stand out more. Go to color picker really quick. Type in our color. Apparently we're using something called fire brick. All right, so complementary is this blue. Let's see what it looks like. So that stands out. It's better than the red, that's for sure. What else do we need? We need a call to action button. All right, it's okay. But you can see how quickly you can spin these up. What if we wanted to do, okay, let's copy that, but I don't really like the image, so let's get rid of the image. Then we go back here, we find maybe a picture of an older mom and daughter. What about this one? See how quickly we just created a whole new version? That actually looks pretty good. I actually think I like that better. So you have to imagine somebody is scrolling through their Facebook newsfeed or their Instagram newsfeed. You're trying to stop them and be interested in your brand for 1 second. You got 1 to 3 seconds. That's it. Build your ad for that 1 to 3 seconds. And then all you do is you download it, right? You hit this download button and you go back into Facebook. You see where it says add media? You just click add image. There you go. I think that actually looks pretty good. There should be more than enough for anybody to get started with Facebook advertising, with the Facebook pixel. Hopefully you've learned more about what Facebook is and how it works on the back end, why advertisers love it so much, how you can create some really awesome audience layerings and targetings as an advertiser. I will tell you, it's fun to manage big budgets on Facebook and Google. When you're in control of over $1 million in a single month, or $1 million over a 7-day period for like Black Friday, it's pretty intense. So I'm going to bring that same intensity to the gift jack, and I'm going to start just where you started, maybe even less. All right, I want to test and I want to validate. I'm not going to just throw money into the dumpster fire that can be Facebook and Google. And so be wary of the advice you're listening to out there, and be wary of the people that you may engage in to manage your advertising spend. Not all marketers are made the same. They are not all made equal. Also, if you have any specific questions, just let me know. Let me know on YouTube. Let me know wherever. How would you look at this problem? Let me know, because I've run into it before. I almost guarantee it. That's the nice thing about working at an agency, especially high-powered agency with high-powered clients in Silicon Valley, is I've seen everything. Wanted to wish everybody happy holidays in case you don't tune in over the next couple of days as well. We'll still be rocking and rolling here. We are still developing content for our website. We're going to have 20 articles up shortly. We're also doing tomorrow, I think we're going to spend time doing Pinterest again. So get your Pinterest hats ready. Bye-bye.